Hi there, Terry from DotPointz. Today we're going to talk about the top 6 qualities of a superb administrator. So the first quality is keep accurate records, whatever your system is, however you file things, whether it be electronically or in hard copy. A really top quality administrator can put his or her hands to a document in seconds, knows exactly where things are, and not only that, when they find a document, it's accurate. So keep accurate records of meetings, keep accurate records of things that you've been asked to do, and keep accurate records of projects. It's so important because guarantee the one time that you don't keep an accurate record, you'll need to go back to it and it won't be there. If you don't just do this as a sound baseline habit, make sure your records are orderly and accurate. The second quality of a top-notch administrator is you have to be super organized. You can't be in a senior administrative role and be disorganized. Managers can do that because they can have organized people around them, like us, in terms of their support staff. But if you're an administrator and you want to be good at that, and you need to be good at that in this day and age, administrators are a dime a dozen. The good ones stand out. So you've got to be organized, and it's your habits, it's from how you organize your desk, your files, your work day, all of it. It's so important. I can't emphasize that enough. So the next thing I want to talk about is a really strong administrator is able to think ahead and preempt what might be coming. So in other words, you're not just dealing what's right in front of you, you're thinking about, I've got this coming, I've got this due, or my boss might need this at a future time. So the ability to think beyond just what you're concentrating on at the moment and seeing it in a wider context, or seeing ahead of time of what's coming in the future, is something that's really important if you want to stand out from other administrators. The fourth thing is, and I did allude to this point in the last one, is you need to see what small tasks that you think you're doing in the wider context, because everything that you're doing at a lower to medium range level of an organization actually is the base of that organization. Whether it's the records you keep, whether it's the quality of letters you write, whether it's the quality of minutes that you're taking, everything that you do as an administrator, whether it's keeping good records of contracts, whether you're on the front line and you're actually dealing with your company's clients, see yourself in that wider context, and you'll understand that an administrator, even if your managers don't understand, we know as administrators that although quite often in companies administrators are not highly valued, and that's reflected in the salaries that we're paid, or that some of us are paid, just know that we know the value of good administration, and that's why we exist. So just see yourself in the wider context. It helps you perhaps get through some of the mundane tasks that you're doing, and it enables you to see that actually without the grunt work that goes on behind the scenes, which comes from those of us who are administrators, a company really wouldn't be able to progress as they do. So what we do allows our managers to be more strategic in their focus, to think about much more higher level things, because we keep the engines running. The fifth thing that I'd like to point out is a quality that you don't always see in an administrator, and that is the ability to show initiative. So what this means in a real office context is that you've got the ability to see where things can be improved, to be able to add value above and beyond what you're actually doing at that moment, or it's related to the point I made about preempting what managers or bosses might need. So it's thinking ahead of time and thinking, I might be able to prepare something in advance for my manager before he or she even asks for it. That's how I endeavour to show initiative in my role. I'm always thinking about what's coming ahead, and I want to be in a position where I prepare things in the background before my boss even asks for it, so that either I can present it if it's ready before he asks for it, or when he asks for it, because inevitably he will, if you're thinking that far ahead, then it's ready and it's not a burden on your current workload. So that ability to show that initiative really demonstrates that you're more than just a run-of-the-mill administrator, that you're actually one of those high-level administrators. And the last thing I'd like to point out, and this is not an exhaustive list, but the key to being a strong administrator is that you're reliable under any circumstance. And what you might find, and you might have this in your own experience, is that managers will know who in the office, they look around, they survey the office, they will know who they can depend upon to get things done. And unfortunately, sometimes you only get one shot at that, where you get asked to do something and you're given the opportunity to deliver. I strongly encourage you, every time you get that opportunity, particularly in the early days, or if you're being asked by someone who hasn't asked you before, who's in senior management, you need to deliver when you're being asked that, because that shows that you're someone who can be relied upon, and you'll be asked again. Because you'll find, if you survey your workplace, there are people who can't be relied upon, and they wonder why they don't get the opportunities to do different things. And it's because at some stage of their career, they've earned a reputation, whether stated or unstated, that, oh, I tried to give that person something to do and they didn't deliver, so a manager could be less inclined to do that again. So if you want to stand out as an administrator, because it's so important, the work that we do, then follow these 6 guidelines and you'll improve your professional brand, and that can only be a good thing for you in the workplace. So if you like the content that we have, please like and subscribe, and be well in the workplace today.